Hey folks, so doing something a little different here. If you're expecting arm wrestling talk, that's not what you're going to get with this. What I'm wanting to do now is address some things that are probably more important than arm wrestling. Some things are off the table. And today, it's really more of a talking point, a discussion point, so please feel free to leave comments. This is purely an opinion. I'm not pushing my opinion, my thoughts on anyone. I'm kind of interested in what other people think, and that is, do people really change? I posted a inspirational quote earlier in the week. It said something to the nature of, don't change yourself for other people. Be true to yourself so the right people love you. And I comment on that. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think you have to take a look at who you are first. And are you somebody that you would want is your character somebody that you would want your kids to be around? You as a man, are you somebody that you would want your daughter to marry? Your character, is your character somebody that you would want your daughter to marry, your sister to marry? Is it someone that you would want in your life? Then you decide, yes, I'm proud of the man I am, or the woman that I am, and I don't feel like I should change my ways for others. Hey, kudos. Or you may determine, like me, I'm not proud of the man that I was, and I need to make a change so the right people will come around. Because maybe the person that you are is attracting the wrong people to be positive influences to your life. So, back to my question. Do you think people really change? I don't have an answer. I could argue both ways. I could argue that people can change, because I feel like I've changed. Then I could also argue that maybe deep down inside, people don't change. They just learn to manage their behaviors, their actions, maybe even their thoughts better to be a better person. Regardless, if you're changing to the better and your actions are better and the example you're setting for your family, people around you, is now a positive example, that's the ultimate goal, right? That is what you're shooting for, is to be a positive. What's the whole reason we're on this earth, right? To make it a better place when we leave than when we came in. And that's whether it's through our kids or family or the community, whatever it may be, our purpose. And I'm not trying to necessarily get into religion on this, but I'm a born again Christian. But what I feel like my purpose is to, do as God's will and leave this earth better than when I came in, or maybe how I've done it for the previous 38 years. But back to the original question: can people really change? Do you think someone truly changes who they are up here and in here, or are they just doing a hell of a better job managing those demons? And maybe that's a little aggressive, but managing those behaviors, those thoughts, those actions to be a better person. Me personally, I feel like I have completely changed. And the reason I say that is because my thought process isn't the same as what it was in the past. I don't have a selfish motive for my actions anymore. I feel very selfless. When it comes to Samantha and my kids, I'm very selfless. I just want to do for them. And I have become more of a caregiver, in the sense where I want to do more for Samantha and the girls. And I see that in my father, with my mother, and how he's been towards me, my sister, and my brother growing up, and towards the church. I'm seeing me slowly become more of that to where I'm wanting to do more. And I will say, even not trying to get into arm wrestling, but in the arm wrestling community, I catch myself having a very selfless angle on just about everything that I'm doing, other than my personal pulling and my matches and my, whether it comes to ranking or whatever. But I feel like my promotional and reaching out to people's here, and my actual pulling and competition is much smaller. So this is what I'm getting into. I was not a selfless person 6 years ago. I was a selfish person. It took hitting a very low point in my life to start the change, probably 5 years ago. I really started the change. Maybe didn't demonstrate it because I was fighting it. My pride was still in the way and I was still being stubborn. But the change started 5 years ago. In the last year is when it's really hit me over the head heavy. When Samantha, if you don't know this, Samantha had a couple car accidents, health scares that really put things into perspective for me. And I've always loved her. She was the girl next door when we were kids. And in the last 6 months, when these things happened to her, is when I just really, it was a gut check moment about what the hell are you doing moving forward, Alan? What are you going to do? Are you going to keep trying to do something that your heart's not in, or are you going to let down your guard, be vulnerable, swallow your pride? You've been doing a better job about it. Take a big old gulp and swallow that pride and ask back into her life. And that's what I've done. So I can only give my personal opinion about and I'm not saying it's a fact, it's just an opinion. I truly think people change. But I could argue that people can't. Yeah, I think about once an addict, always an addict. And I do think that's true. I don't think you're ever not an addict. I just think you can do very well at managing your addiction and your behaviors and not put yourself into positions to succumb to that temptation. I think, and when I'm talking about addiction, I'm not just talking about substance abuse. I'm talking whether it be infidelity or alcohol or gambling, anything. Shopping is a real addiction, y'all. Spending money is a real addiction. There's many types of addictions that you have to learn to manage, and I don't think that's something you can ever change about you. I don't think there's anything you can truly do because it's the chemical, it's the way your brain is made up. So like I said, I could argue both, but I'm really interested to hear everyone else's opinion on this, whether you think a person truly changes, or do they just do a better job at managing themselves? Comment your response. There's going to be some more things like this because I think these are more topics that need to be discussed openly to make people more comfortable with having real and open conversations without having them necessarily need to take a negative turn. They don't need to become, what's the word I'm looking for? Any kind of altercation. That's not really what I'm looking for, but there's no reason for these to become arguments. There's no reason for these to be necessarily difficult conversations. We as society have become very I don't want to use the word soft because that's insensitive, but we're not able to have these conversations without hurting one another's feelings. And the more we have these conversations without making them personal and maintaining that respect for one another and choosing to bite your tongue when it needs to be bitten. Just because you're thinking it don't mean you need to say it. And it's once again something I'm still struggling with, and it's something I foresee myself struggling with for a little while because there's a very big opportunity to me. I'm quick-lipped and quick-witted, and those are very poisonous when it comes to a a confrontational conversation, and that's something I am working on as a man. Once again, am I truly changing, or am I just managing that behavior better? In that case, I think I'm managing the behavior better. I think I'll always be a smart ass up here, a bit of an asshole. Those are things, though, I have to fight off the temptation to act on. But anyways, it's already 10 minutes into this video, but I just wanted to think about this. Do people change, or do they manage their behaviors? And what are you doing to change for the better? What are you doing today to make this earth better than it was yesterday? What are you doing to help your community be better than it was yesterday? Your family, your friends. What are you doing to make today better than yesterday? I love y'all. Be sure to comment in the section with your thoughts.